This is Riley Porter with Seattle Sumo. This is the commentary track for Day 5 of the 1960 Haru Basho. The coverage for this tournament can be found on the Japan Sumo Association's official YouTube channel. There's a link to that down in the description for this video. I'd recommend subscribing to that channel and becoming a member. That way you'll have full access to their archive content. Unfortunately, anything beyond the opening day's coverage is locked behind a membership wall. So it is unfortunate. It is heritage that be nice if everyone had more access to, but it's an investment that I personally think is worthwhile. In any event, I have the video pulled up here, so I'll give instructions for syncing up. I'll count backwards from 3, 3, 2, 1. As I hit the N in 1, I'm clicking play. You'll do the same, and then we'll be in sync for this video. So again, this is Day 5 of the Haru 1960 Basho, 3rd month, March, Showa 35. I'll count down now. 3, 2, 1. Futabayama Taiho Chianofuji Archive. Alright, our first match is between Futatsuryu, Tokitsukaze veteran, and Hanada, a newcomer to the top division from Kasugano. They're both off to a perfect start, 4-0, so somebody here's going to besmirch. Alright, inside left for Hanada. Now it's a Morozashi, and he kicks up that inside left leg and hoists out Futatsuryu. So that's Hanada's 5th straight win, looking great. Tsune Nishiki against Uragawa. Uragawa's doing a little better on 2-2 to Tsune Nishiki's 1-3. Tsune Nishiki is the more experienced of the two, but this is his highest rank. He's never been able to really cut very far in Makunochi. So he's got a deep inside right. Looks like something almost a Morozashi. His left can't get to the belt, and now his right's been taken off the belt. Uragawa's taking the fight to him. Can't get that outside right. And now Tsune Nishiki's got a strong outside right of his own. Doing well to guard his belt from Uragawa's grip, but it looks like Uragawa might already have that outside right. Perhaps in the more favorable position. Hard to see from this angle. Tsune Nishiki. Very nicely done. Hoists up Uragawa with that outside right, wheels around, does almost a full 180-degree spin, and drops him to the dirt for his 2nd win. Kiyonomori against Yoshinomine. Kiyonomori, like Tsune Nishiki, is more of a Juryo man than a Makunochi man. Yoshinomine gets to pushing, coming up underneath, but Kiyonomori keeps his lateral movement going, slips to the side and pushes down on Yoshinomine's neck, sending him face first to the dirt. So Kiyonomori's 4th win. Now Kane no Hana, a younger man from Dewa no Umi, against Atago Yama from the Takasago stable. Relatively evenly matched here, I think, on paper. Now, Atago Yama gets some big pushes, but they just kind of bounce off Kane no Hana, who slips his arm underneath the pit of Atago Yama and spins him over. Looked to me like something of a scoop throw. Skui Nage. So that's Kane no Hana's 3rd win. Atago Yama falls to his 3rd loss. Narutoumi, Kasugano veteran, against Oikawa, a younger man from Takasago, fighting under his real name. And Narutoumi gives him the slip. And it looked to me like Oikawa found himself running to the edge of the ring and slipping out before he could catch himself. So Narutoumi, relatively easy win there. Hane Nishiki on 1-3, struggling a little here in the opening against Matsunobori. Heavy hitting Ozeki. Should shoot out like a cannonball. His typical Tachi-ai. I think Hane Nishiki will want to get that outside right. Doesn't get it. Matsunobori moves into the chest and comes from underneath using that big belly of his to lift and shove out Hane Nishiki. So Matsunobori moving to his 3rd win, looking good. increasingly strong as I think this boss show progresses, so Maybe on his way to a winning record. Tamahibiki against Shinobu Yama. Now, these two have never fought before. They have a 0-0 head-to-head. Shinobu Yama, the more experienced of the two, certainly, so I'd probably give him the edge overall. Tamahibiki tries to get some thrusting going, but Shinobu Yama already has a Morozashi. And he's in the driver's seat here and plants that foot behind Tamahibiki's left leg and trips him down, crushing him Yoritaoshi. So very slick, showing his technical expertise, Shinobu Yama, to move to his 5th straight win. Looking good in this basho. Yeah, I believe Shinobu Yama is something about 34. Definitely one of the older men in this top division, but yeah, still got he's got a lot of technique, that's for sure. He's got that going for him. Waka no Kuni, young Hanakago man against Ao no Sato, young Tokitsukaze man. Both relatively inexperienced, though Ao no Sato has certainly logged more time and a bit more, better numbers thus far in Makunochi, so he probably would have the edge overall. I think their head-to-head's relatively even. And they start. Waka no Kuni tries for the throat, but Ao no Sato's already dug in deep inside right. And it looks like he got the grip broken momentarily. Now he's on an outside left. Waka no Kuni spins him. Now they're settled in the middle here. It's Migi Yotsu, but it looks to me like Waka no Kuni is fishing for a Morozashi. Ao no Sato's using his right Otsuke to protect his belt. A bit of a stalemate here. I think they're in a relatively even position. The Gyoji's fixing Ao no Sato's belt. Ao no Sato digs in. Can't finish off Waka no Kuni. They're still struggling in the middle here. Waka no Kuni looks like he's pretty well got that Morozashi, but his grip is being pinched here. And now Ao no Sato, his outside right's getting caught up high. He's not really in a favorable position here. Waka no Kuni is looking to finish him off, but cannot do it. Ao no Sato sticks in. Now he gets a drive going. Now Waka no Kuni's on the edge. Oh, Ao no Sato too. A double outside's not really a favorable position, especially when they're so evenly matched physically like this. Though Ao no Sato might be the slightly larger of the two. Ao no Sato, he's got Waka no Kuni's back to the edge. Waka no Kuni's Morozashi is looking stronger and stronger as this bout progresses. That's a stalemate. Waka no Kuni inches in. Ao no Sato's moving closer and closer to the edge. Waka no Kuni drives. No go. Stay locked up here. Ao no Sato's not giving in, but also not really able to generate much offense at this point. Waka no Kuni continues to inch forward. Ao no Sato continues to inch back. So perhaps he wants to, looks like who wants to pull a throw there. Definitely seems to me at this point that would be his preferred method to win, since a Yori drive will probably just send him right into Waka no Kuni's lap. And it looks to me like that outside right is going to be the killing blow for Ao no Sato, gearing up for an Uwate. Waka no Kuni drives in. Ao no Sato's on the defense and saves himself again. Now he wheels around, using that outside left to swing Waka no Kuni, but can't finish him. And now the match stops again for Ao no Sato's loose belt. We're back into the action. They're jostling for position here. Grips have been broken, but now Waka no Kuni is right back where he started, with a Maimitsu and a deep inside, and that'll do. He brings Ao no Sato down with a Shitate Nage, ending what was really a marathon bout. So good effort by both Dikishi here. Kudos to Waka no Kuni for sticking to his stance and digging in on that belt, being patient, keeping up the aggression, dictating the pace of the bout. Now, Waka Maeda. Big man from Takasago. Not the biggest, but a big man from Takasago against Tokitsuyama. Doing a little better than Waka Maeda on 2 and 2. Waka Maeda is 1 and 3. Now Waka Maeda comes in low to push. Tokitsuyama pushes right back, just drives into him, pushing on the chest and throat, and eventually upsets Waka Maeda's balance, sending him down. So that brings their head-to-head a little more even. Waka Maeda came in on an 8-6 edge, but now it's 8-7 in Waka Maeda's favor. So Tokitsuyama brings them a little closer together and improves to 3 and 2. Waka Maeda struggling at 1 and 4. We'll have to pick up the pace a little here. Waka Misugi from Hanakago, 3 and 1 against Oginohana, Dewa no Umi, 2 and 2. Now they both get to pushing. Waka Misugi's right on the throat, but Oginohana slips in. He's pushing up on the armpit of Waka Misugi. Hazuoshi driving, really wrenching up. But Waka Misugi's not giving in, and now they're caught in the middle here. Hard to see from this angle if there's a belt grip on the other side, but their arms are locked up high, and now Waka Misugi drives in and finishes Oginohana. So Waka Misugi, 4 and 1, looking great after the first third. Oginohana, 2 and 3. Could really feasibly go either way at this point for him. Waka Misugi gets the win. Well, good day for Hanakago so far. We'll see what Waka Chichibu can do. He should be up soon. Waka no Kuni, Waka Misugi, and Waka Chichibu are all clutched in the same group here, so they tend to fight around the same time. But not quite yet. Now Kaizan with no wins yet against Fukudayama with 3 already. Fukudayama hits the chest and throat. Kaizan works his way to an inside right. Fukudayama hasn't established a belt grip yet, and it looks like Kaizan hasn't really either, actually. But now Fukudayama gets that outside left, Kaizan the inside right. Kaizan trying to protect his other side. But it doesn't matter. Well, Fukudayama, a little overzealous there perhaps, let himself get too high. He looked like he was right about to finish off Kaizan, but Kaizan kind of dropped down low and let Fukudayama tumble over him, dropping out first, so it looks like Kaizan didn't even realize he won. It was just that close, but everyone else knew it. The Gyoji caught it right away. So Kaizan, the Nishonoseki stalwart, gets his first win here on day 5. So perhaps this is a change in momentum for him. I'm sure he's hoping so. The Shinpan are shuffling out. Pulling up the rear there is the former Kagamisato, Yokozuna, until only a couple years ago. There he is, Waka Chichibu on 1 and 3 coming into today against Fusanishiki with the inverse score of 3 and 1. Fusanishiki a little older, more experienced. Waka Chichibu a little bigger. They come in low. Fusanishiki pushes up. Good Oshi Sumo, but Waka Chichibu finally gets that outside right. Doesn't really seem to make much of a difference, though. Fusanishiki keeps pushing in on him and finishes him off. So Fusanishiki, in his preferred style, even despite Waka Chichibu closing the distance and bearing down on him, Fusanishiki doesn't falter, doesn't break away, just keeps pushing up, sticking to his low stance, and takes care of Waka Chichibu in good fashion. So 4 and 1 to finish out the first third. Looking good. Kita no Nara, White Lightning, against Dewa Nishiki, who's been in this top division since, I believe, 1947, so been fighting here a long time. Kita no Nara, he's a veteran all his own. I think he's been in this top division since about 1950 or so. They meet in the middle. Dewa Nishiki gets to locking up the arms. That's sort of his preferred method, and it works today. So he's got that double-armed grip on Kita no Nara's left arm, wrenches it up, and forces him out. So Dewa Nishiki gets his second win. So it's not the most typical style, Dewa Nishiki's, but he seems to know what he's doing. He's got a plan, even if it doesn't always look like it. Very experienced Rikishi. Tochihikari. He suffered his first loss yesterday, but has in general been looking very strong this basho against Tama no Umi. Nishono Seki veteran, oldest man in the division. Easy to spot, even in this black and white footage here with his gold belt. Now he starts slow, raises his hands to catch Tochihikari, but Tochihikari just barrels into him past his sort of flimsy defense and shoves him out. So, looked like an Oshidashi win. Tochihikari, his fourth win of the basho. To finish out the first third, he's looking good. Keeping that outside chance for a Yusho. And looking increasingly like the Ozeki candidate of old. Kitabayama with a perfect start, 4-0 against Naruyama. Kitabayama comes in very low. Slips in that inside right. Naruyama's got his outside right. Well, I can't really tell if it's inside or outside at this point, but in any event, Kitabayama is in I think where he wants to be. Head dug into the chest here of Naruyama. A deep inside grip. They're locked up here. It's a bit of a stalemate. Now, Naruyama pushes in. Now, it is an inside right. And I think he's got the same idea as Kitabayama, essentially, to just drive in, thrust the gut, and so forth. But neither is really able to generate their drive at the moment. Both minding themselves. Kitabayama swings around and pulls in, walking Naruyama out with Yorikiri. So he broke Naruyama's footing there by pulling in, kind of shuffling to his left quickly, and then bringing Naruyama in with that inside right, and then switching gears to Yorikiri and driving him out. So Kitabayama, good strategy, plays it well, and moves to his fifth straight win. So he is keeping pace with the front runners. Fujinichi against Kashiwado, the Shin Sekiwake. They're both on 2-2. Well, now it's Shin Komosubi against Shin Sekiwake for this matchup, actually. Fujinichi's new to the ring, too. He comes in low, gets that outside right Kashiwado as an inside left, and now he's bearing down on Fujinichi. Running him backwards. Fujinichi's trying to get the grip going with his left, but Kashiwado now is using that Otsuke and finishes Fujinichi Yorikiri. Oh, that was a nice back and forth. Fujinichi really got the better of the Tachi-ai there, but Kashiwado braced himself and changed the momentum of the bout. Oh, very good win for him. He's a wrestler who typically bases his strategy off of a very sharp, quick Tachi-ai, so to be frustrated on the Tachi-ai is not usually a good sign for Kashiwado, but he weathers it and shows his ability. Waka no Umi, 1-3. Anenyama, 1-3. Also a Komosubi Sekiwake match, though these two have experience at the rank they're holding. Nothing new for them. I can't quite sync up here. I'll try again. So Wakanoumi comes in very low, head first. Ananyama's caught him. He's got that outside right going. Wakanoumi tries for a trip throw, but no good. Manages to keep his footing at least, but Ananyama's really bearing down on him now. He twists, and Ananyama pulls away using that inside left. Shitate drops Wakanoumi to the dirt, so Ananyama picks up his second win. Wakanoumi falls to his fourth loss. Ananyama looking good. He's about 30, I believe. He's really at the peak of his power. So hopefully he does better the rest of this basho. Taiho Wakahaguro, First time meeting, 0-0 head-to-head. The Ozeki is definitely looking a little better this basho. More familiar with the territory he's in. Taiho's ready. A little too eager, though. Wakahaguro wasn't set yet. They'll try again. And Taiho's a little high. Wakahaguro's in good position, gets pushing from down low. And Taiho's trying to get into a grip, but Wakahaguro's not letting it happen. Just keeps pushing and running. Taiho pushes back. Now he's getting to some thrusting, gives up on this whole belt fighting nonsense. And Wakahaguro just keeps sticking to his game plan. He's pushing up on the chest. Taiho. Now he's fishing his way into that belt. He's got it in. Finally an outside right. Definitely in a much more favorable position now. Wakahaguro, how good is he when it comes to grips? He's certainly an Oshi specialist. Taiho is definitely the weaker wrestler at this stage, but he's much stronger on the belt than he is at thrusting, and Wakahaguro, I believe the inverse is true, so they're much more evened up here. I can see Taiho's arm's a bit longer than Wakahaguro's. Even the hips that are more neighborly don't offer him anything to work with. Taiho drives in, drops his hips, and finishes off Wakahaguro. So in their first meeting, Taiho comes out on top, moving to 2-3. Wakahaguro 3-2. So Taiho comes through. Yeah, we'll see if he can manage a Kachikoshi yet at his, to date, highest rank, and only his second Makunochi Basho. Certainly not heading for another runner-up performance, I don't think, but looking good nonetheless. Kotogahama against Surugamine. Now, Kotogahama has a 9-5 lead in their head-to-head, so odds favor him in this matchup. Surugamine is ready to go. And not quite synced up, so they're going to try that again. You know, Tachiai really dictates the whole match, so they want to make sure they're starting fair and even. Hands out. They're jockeying for position here. Surugamine's got the outside right. Kotogahama the inside left. Deep inside left. He's fishing for the outside, but no good, and it looks like Surugamine has already got his inside left. Keeping his hip back. Tries for a grip change, but not a good move. Kotogahama moves in and tries to trip him up. Now he barrels down on him and crushes him down. So something of a... well, hard to say exactly, but in any event, Kotogahama wins. Picking up his third win. He and Surugamine are now even in this basho, 3-2. And Kotogahama improves his head-to-head with Surugamine, 10-5. So he certainly has the edge on him. Kotogahama, using his trademark legwork there, tried for a little outside trip. Tochinishiki, 4-0. Iwakaze, 2-2. Now, Tochinishiki has a 6-0 lead on Iwakaze in their head-to-head. It's a pretty one-sided affair. We'll see if Iwakaze can make a statement here. Now he dives in, not quite his typical Tachiai. He usually waits, but he means to be aggressive here. Gets a inside grip. Now it's a Morozashi. Tochinishiki breaks that grip. Pulls back. Now he's wrenching up the belt. He's got a pretty... well, he's got that outside right. Got kind of an inverse grip on the belt here. It's so loose. But he's doing everything he can to keep leverage on Iwakaze, who's maintaining that strong inside left. Tochinishiki. He's wrenched up the belt to Iwakaze's chest. Not in a great position, but he makes it work. Forcing his way to the ring's edge and then pushing on Iwakaze's chest to finish him off. That's the 5th straight win for Yokozuna Tochinishiki, the defending champion. So looking like still the favorite to win this basho. looking strong. Wins from what was initially a disadvantaged position. Iwakaze, he's typical to kind of do a low starting tachiai without going forward too much, but this time he just dove in head first to Toshinishiki. I think tried to catch him off guard a little. Waka no Hana, 4-0. Shionishiki, 0-4. I think this matchup favors Waka no Hana, certainly. It comes in low. Shionishiki tries to get that inside left going, but Waka no Hana's not having it. Gets to a double inside. He's deep, and he finishes Shionishiki Yorikiri. So Waka no Hana showing just how speedy and powerful he can be. One instant he looks like he's sort of even with the man, and the next instant he's just all over him, going exactly where he wants to, using his overwhelming power. So Waka no Hana moves to 5-0, and Shionishiki is yet to pick up a win. That's his 5th straight loss since the start of this basho. Now, our final matchup, Oh Hikari, another 0-4 man coming into today against Asashio. Now, Asashio has a slight edge in their head-to-head, 8-5 in his favor, but Oh Hikari does have a chance. We'll see what he can do today. Now, he hops in, tries to get to thrusting at the chest, but can't really move Asashio back. Asashio just steps into him and flips him over, sending him toppling, and that's his 3rd win. So Asashio finishes out the first third of the basho on 3-2. It's not looking too bad. So, a good day sumo. Got a few men with a perfect start. And we'll see how the race is shaping up as we reach the middle here. So, thank you for joining me.